Okay, this is the prelude to the end game. This right here is what we would call a game changer. Shout out to my man Mac, aka Knock Form Runner, for sending me this link. Also, Danny emailed me this link too. I've been dying to get at this. I just got off work, so I'm dying to get into this. While everybody was immersed in the R. Kelly fiasco distraction nonsense, they snuck this in under our noses right through the back door. And you don't hear a peep about this. You don't hear anybody from the LGBTQ, them peoples protesting this. You might as well put the P at the end of that stuff. You know how they were all like, oh, we don't support pedophilia and we're against that. No, yes, the fuck you are. You're down with it because this officially put the P at the end of the LGBTQ, whatever the fuck. Put the P on there because y'all down with this nonsense. Okay. Request to bring in child brides okayed, legal under U.S. laws. Thousands of requests by men to bring in child and adolescent brides to live in the U.S. were approved over the past decade. According to government data obtained by the Associated Press, in one case, a 49-year-old man applied for admission for a 15-year-old girl. The approvals are legal. The Immigration and Nationality Act does not set minimum age requirements for the person making the request or for that person's spouse or fiance. By contrast, to bring in a parent from overseas, a petitioner has to be at least 21 years old. So all those goofy ass niggas that complain they can't get a grown woman here in the States, that like to brag about flying overseas to get third world pussy, these goofy niggas are going to be the ones chomping at the bit to go overseas to bring in little girls so they can come over here and marry them. Basically, that's what this is. Period, point blank. I don't care what the other people do. This is not about what they do. This is about what's going to happen in our community with our people, with our men. I can guarantee you're going to have a bunch of incel black men, socially awkward black men flying overseas, bringing in 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old girls to come over here to marry them because they can't get a grown-ass woman. Now, and in weighing petitions, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services goes by whether the marriage is legal in the spouse or fiance's home country, and then whether the marriage would be legal in the state where the petitioner lives. These laws can be circumvented. All you got to do is pick the right state, basically. The data raises questions about whether the immigration system may be enabling forced marriage and about how U.S. laws may be compounding the problem despite efforts to limit child and forced marriage. Marriage between adults and minors is not uncommon in the U.S., and most states allow children to marry with some restrictions. There are more than 5,000 cases of adults petitioning on behalf of minors and nearly 3,000 examples of minors seeking to bring in older spouses or fiancés, according to the data requested by the Senate Homeland Security Committee in 2017 and compiled in this report. Some victims of forced marriage say the lure of a U.S. passport combined with lax U.S. marriage laws are partly fueling the petitions. My sunshine was snatched from my life, said Naila Amin, a dual citizen born in Pakistan who grew up in New York City. She was forcibly married at 13 in Pakistan and later applied for papers for her 26-year-old husband to come to the U.S. at the behest of her family. She was forced for a time to live in Pakistan with him, where she said she was sexually assaulted and beaten. She came back to the U.S. and he was to follow. People died to come to America. She said, I was a passport to him. They all wanted him here, and that was the way to do it. Amin, now 29, said she was betrothed when she was just 8 and he was 21. The petition she submitted after her marriage was approved by the immigration officials, but he never came to the country, in part because she ran away from home. She said the ordeal cost her childhood. Pat, let's get all this. Let's get all this. Let's skip all this. There is a two-step process for obtaining U.S. immigration visas and green cards. Petitions are first considered by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS. If granted, they must be approved by the State Department. Overall, there were 3.5 million petitions received from budget years 2007 through 2017. Over that period, there were 5,556 approvals for those seeking to bring minor spouses or fiancés, and 2,926 approvals by minors seeking to bring in older spouses, according to the data. Look, all you weirdo R. Kelly ass niggas that been chomping at the bit, and you've been fighting your compulsion all these years. This is I know they're celebrating and jumping for joy. This is what they've been looking for, guys. For years, we have been saying they're going to legalize pedophilia. We've been saying this for years. And I mean, we as a collective people that have been, adamant about voicing what's going on, we have been saying this for this is a game changer which preludes the end game. Okay? It's a wrap. This is it. Anywho, in nearly all of the cases, the girls were the younger person in the relationship. In 149 instances, the adult was older than 40, and in 28 cases, the adult was over 50. The committee found in 2011, immigration officials approved a 14-year-old's petition for a 48-year-old spouse in Jamaica. A petition from a 71-year-old man was approved in 2013 for his 17-year-old wife in Guatemala. There are no nationwide statistics on child marriage, but data from a few states suggest it is far from rare. State laws generally set 18 as the minimum age for marriage, yet every state allows exceptions. Most states let 16 and 17-year-olds marry if they have parental consent. So if you come from one of those countries that allows you to mess with a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old girl, and they apply for, the paperwork, and they can bring your little pedophile ass over here so you can continue your pedophile ways over here in the States. This is how it's going to go down, people. So all you silly once again, I'm bashing you silly infidel niggas that can't get no grown woman, but this is your way out. You're going to get a girl, a little child, basically. Someone's child. This is disgusting. Let's see. This is a problem both domestically and in terms of immigration. Reese, who says she was forced into an abusive marriage by her Orthodox Jewish family when she was 19, and that often cases of child marriage via parental consent involve coercion, with a girl forced to marry against her will. Let's see. Our immigration system may unintentionally shield the abuse of women and children, yada, yada, yada. Okay. USCIS didn't know how many of the approvals were granted by the State Department, but overall, only about 2.6% of spousal or fiancé claims are rejected. Separately, the data shows that 4,749 minor spouses or fiancés received green cards to live in the U.S. over that 10-year period. The country where most requests came from was Mexico, followed by Pakistan, Jordan, the Dominican Republic. Oh, you niggas love the DR. All you niggas that be like, I'm going to the DR. You niggas probably looking for little girls. Y'all ain't looking for no grown women. Y'all looking for little girls because you can't cut the mustard with grown women over here. Anywho, and Yemen, Middle Eastern nationals had the highest percentage of overall approved petitions. I'm disgusted. I'm not surprised. But y'all, we all fell for the okie doke. So all y'all breaking your necks to do commentary on R. Kelly and a 25-year-old case. This right here is going to make R. Kelly and his kind legal and in good standing. But I digress. You guys have a good one. Peace.